So the first point is practice of preliminaries. The first slogan says, you have the slogan, the mind training, the root text, right? So I put their numbers. So the number one, the first slogan, the number one, it says, first training in the preliminaries. So the first of the 7 points of mind training is the preliminaries. You know this teaching, right? Practice in preliminary is very important. Very, very. This is the foundation. So that's why Chakawa, you have to remember his name, the teacher, Chakawa. That's why the first point, the first slogan is preliminary, training in the preliminaries. So practicing preliminary is like our head. Our head actually does all the works of the body, right? Think about this. If we had no head, we could not see, we could not hear, we could not eat. We couldn't do any of these things. Without our head, we could, unable to do anything. Actually, we're dead, right? You see the head, the size of our head compared to our body, it's very small, I mean, kind of small, but the head actually does, all the work of the body and the functioning, everything, it depends head. So this preliminary, without preliminary practice is like head. Without preliminary practice, we will not be able to practice Buddhism. And that means no enlightenment. So for that reason, first we need to train in the preliminaries in order to increase our interest in the respect for the Dharma, which is devotion, which is faith, So faith and devotion, very important. Not only Buddhism, all the religions, that's the most important, to have devotion and faith. So now there are two types of preliminaries, right? The outer preliminaries and then inner preliminaries. So in the 7 point of mind training that I'm going to teach, the preliminaries are referring to the outer preliminaries, not the inner preliminaries, So here today, we can talk about inner preliminaries. This says the first slogan is just preliminaries. But today, this preliminaries, the outer preliminaries. So let's look at the outer preliminaries. First, it is very important to recognize the precious human life is the basis for enlightenment, right? Because it provides genuine opportunity for spiritual practice. We all have these opportunities, We are very lucky to have this precious human life, But, Milarepa said that you need to look around and see that impermanence is everywhere, right? Impermanence everywhere. So we have this precious human body now. It is very clear that we have reached a very special circumstances because we have this precious human life, for sure. If you believe your past life, wonderful, did something good. So therefore we have this, precious human life now. So that means we have to use this good opportunity, And otherwise, even though this is very precious life, but it's impermanent. It's impermanence, and it's means like it's getting shorter. Most people think, it is not good idea to sit and think about impermanence, and which means you're thinking about death, but actually it is very good idea, I think, very good idea, because if we don't think about it now, one day it will definitely arrive anyway, whether you like or not, so then we will not be prepared, and that means then we will experience great suffering. So therefore this moment, this life, this precious life, we have to do something good and beneficial. So therefore, because when you think about impermanence of life, then really you will understand this precious is important, but it makes you do something better, something good, So so therefore, the preliminary, to recognize the precious human life, is very, very important. Even though in the short-term contemplation of death and impermanence might cause a little bit discomfort especially for beginners, but in the long term, it will actually save us from greater suffering. So it's very important to recognize, and so we must meditate sort of on the impermanence, death and impermanence, because sooner or later, death really is something that will happen to us, right? We can't skip it. So when the time comes to die, it will be too late to change our minds, right? So we have to make sure that when death comes, we don't have any regret in our minds about our life. When death comes, we're very happily to die. That's the thing. That's the great practitioner. When they, the death, they are very happy. Nothing they regret, nothing. So when we, now this situation, when we, look around, we see that all sorts of terrible things happening, like, accidents, illness, and obstacles, all these things happening. But fortunately, we are good. We are good. But we can see these things with other people, these things happening, and there is no guarantee. We will always have this situation. So whatever we do through these three actions, body, speech, and mind, everything we do, everything we say or think, it's not the best, right? Because we have all of these negative actions, attitude, thoughts, and emotions, So if we create a cause of like non-virtue, we will experience the result. So first, we should look around us and try to understand in terms of the teachings what is happening in our environment. So we should then utilize this awareness in our meditation in order to develop a positive attitude. So we must practice mind training and recognize these good opportunities. If you don't know the value and the reason to practice Dharma, then you will not be able to generate interest in and respect for the Dharma. So if you practice these four thoughts, the outer preliminaries, the precious human life, impermanence of life, the cause and effect, the samsara and nirvana. So if you practice these four thoughts, the outer preliminaries, because these will help you to understand the value and the reason why you need to practice the Dharma. For that reason, the Buddha taught, these four thoughts that change your mind. So they inspire you to practice Dharma. So, what we should do is repeatedly contemplate these four thoughts that change the mind. This practice are daily sort of reminders of what is important for a meaningful life. So, I'm very happy for you. I know many of you are practicing this preliminaries, right? So that is the very. I'm not going to teach you in detail the outer preliminaries because I'm sure you know actually very well about these four thoughts that change your mind. So this is the first slogan.